It's the 1st of November, it's autumn, and we've been on this mooring in Uppermill for 6 days. Narrowboat Perseverance is covered in fallen leaves, so the first job of the day is to clear them off the boat. Then before we set off, we need to top up our water and put our solar panels down. We definitely need to put a new hose on our shopping list. This is the first lock of the day, Lock 21, West Wade Lock. Oldham Road crosses the canal just below the lock. When the canal was restored 25 years ago, the stone arch supporting the bridge had to be extended with a new concrete structure. We're heading west towards Manchester, and today we're hoping to get as far as Stalybridge, which is 8 miles and 15 locks away. We're leaving Uppermill now and heading into Greenfield, but I honestly can't tell where one village ends and the other begins. This pan's really full, and you can see the water flowing over the top of the lock gates into the chamber. Someone from the CRT arrives as we're using a lock, and I think they're going to be clearing the leaves that are clogging up the bywash. This basin used to be called French's Wharf, but now it's known as Saddleworth Marina. It's got private moorings for about 16 boats. This is a fairly new bridge. It had to be built when the canal was restored. This lovely stone bridge is Shore Hall Bridge. These gardens are so long you can barely see the houses at the top of them. Michael has Royal George Lock open when I arrive with the boat. It's named after the old Royal George Mills. When you arrive at a lock, it's always a good idea to check that there's no boats coming the other way before you reset the lock in your favour. It's so frustrating to be the boat approaching the lock that was set in your direction, only for another boat to come along and open the paddles without even looking. This lock looks especially pretty, surrounded by all the orange falling leaves. This is the view of the Royal George Mill from the lock, although it's no longer a mill, it's now apartments. The navigation narrows as we cross the River Tame on the Royal George Aqueduct. At Division Lock, Michael gets the water raising and then he walks ahead to set the next lock while I get the gates open and the boat inside. Of course, our chief supervisor takes his usual position on the lock side whilst the boat lowers, and we wait for Michael to return to let the boat out of the lock. As we approach Wood End Lock, we pass the huge brick building that was once Wood End Mill. It's now used as an industrial estate. Most of these locks are dark and damp, but this one's rather mossy and green too. We're now passing the town of Mossley in Tameside, and this is Wharf Cottage Lock, also known as Micklehurst Lock. This is Scout Tunnel. It's only 615 feet long, and unlike the Standage Tunnel, it's got a towpath running through it. At the far end of the tunnel, there's quite a sharp turn to the left, and I take it really slowly as I don't want to hit this little boat. George has decided he's had enough of walking, so we get him onto the back of the boat so he can ride for the last couple of locks. 5 miles and 13 locks done. We decide to call it a day and stop at the Service Point moorings. There used to be a Waterways office here. I don't know how long ago they moved out, but it's looking very abandoned now.